Explanations of Ptaah on the background of the corona pandemic and on its real origin. Extract from the 728th Contact Report of November 30, 2019.
So all U.S. state responsible ones are to be called in the same wise, as state criminals of humanity, and to be put in this respect on the same level as the NAZI-Reich in the 20th century. Also in China, the same principle has always prevailed, and continues to prevail.
FIGU note: the origin of the criminal secret research on the coronavirus was a decision dating back to the 1970s. At that time, the leader of China, Mao Zedong, met with a vengeful American citizen who presented the Chinese party chairman with the idea of developing a viral bioweapon, which Mao Zedong then took up and had implemented as a secret matter, which is still being worked on today and from which the coronavirus has now emerged. This, however, without the current Chinese government being involved in the project in any way or having even the slightest knowledge of it.
In the 1970s, a decision for secret research in laboratories was implemented between the Chinese state authority Mao and an American, which has been preserved and is still continued today, because hate literally outlasts generations. However, silence must be maintained about this, which must also remain so today and in the future, as you know, because, But now I have to mention once again some things that arose in connection with the secret laboratory experiments and led to the fact that Mao seized on the Americans' motives, although he did not like him and called him a vengeful Guzazong, son of a bitch, but he nevertheless agreed with him, so he secretly arranged the laboratory research. With the help of a few like-minded ones on both sides, everything could eventually be done so that the secret laboratory work could be created and the research could be started and carried out. However, Mao then died, after which, however, the secret laboratory work nevertheless continued, and has continued to the present day.
If the Yanks and the present-day leaders of China knew that, man, oh, man, but it is now quite hot when we two talk about it like this. Which is why I do not write anything down when I am recouping reports and leave out everything that is of particular importance. This is also because I am not allowed to mention the fundamental points anyway, and so I am not allowed to mention any names. So I will at least leave out the fundamental facts and ...
You of course have to, because what is hidden in everything has to remain hidden. Hence you have to omit the exact explanations, although this does not change the facts. If we were to reveal everything about what corresponds to the actual connections, then the whole thing would be very serious and quite dangerous. That the origin of this reprehensible research that has come about can be traced back to an idea of an American, I think it can be said, but nothing more. And if everything happens and certain people in the USA try to claim that the disease is of natural origins, then such attempts will come from people who know about the matter, who know some or all of it, but who will try to cover it up, as is customary.
China will not do what it should do, which is to ban all international traffic and block the infected places, districts, factories and shops etc.
As well as shutting down public life as well as arranging all necessary quarantines. And by failing to do this, China is guilty of the emergence of the pandemic, which is fundamentally the result of a pact between two crazy vengeful people, one full of political hatred and the other full of personal hatred against the USA, because, But just as China is guilty of concealing the rampantly spreading disease, which has been costing many human lives for some time now as an epidemic, but which will only become public in the next few days of next month, so will all the other countries of the world, because they will act negligently and criminally in the same frame, thereby opening up all avenues for the pandemic, which will cost the lives of several 100,000 human beings. In addition to all this, various new types of disease will also arise with the spread of the rampantly spreading disease, up to and including severe suffering in newborn babies, which may have unforeseeable consequences, and this because all responsible leaders of all countries are irresponsible and intransigent as well as incapable of foresight, and consequently they will all be equally responsible for the death of thousands of human beings in their own country and hundreds of thousands worldwide. This is indeed the case, you are right, but it requires that the current and subsequent global happenings and occurrences will have to be closely observed and perceived, what is happening all over the world, and according to which action will also have to be taken, whereby this particularly concerns health factors. In this respect, it will have to be borne in mind that the events surrounding the SARS disease will be repeated in a more serious way, as I said on February 3, 1995. Namely that it will spread widely in China from the southern Chinese province of Guangdong, as was actually the case. The fact that the SARS or lung disease pathogen was artificially created as a so-called coronavirus in a secret laboratory in 2002, as a special germ for the purpose of which was of course denied by China and suppressed and concealed by all means, as it is currently the case, because since the month of June a further and newly mutated form of the SARS virus has been spreading, which has already killed a large number of human beings. However, the fact that these deaths can be attributed to the new pathogen, including a decision in the 1970s that none of this is known to the current Chinese leadership, nor will it know when in 6 to 8 days it is first recognized that the new virus is the equivalent of a deadly rampantly spreading disease that will spread worldwide and cause a pandemic, although there will be no knowledge among Chinese and world public opinion that the virus has been claiming lives since June. Nor will there be any mention of the fact that the virus has carelessly escaped from a laboratory to the outside world and has been spreading for 5 months now, spreading to humans and various wild animals, because this fact is not yet known, not even to the Chinese government, which has no knowledge of the whole thing and therefore bears no blame for the pandemic. The escape was unintentional, as was the case with SARS. But nevertheless the secret laboratory work with this mutated coronavirus was continued, so that the same carelessness could now happen again, causing much terribleness in the new year 2020, with many deaths in a millennium, and the rampantly spreading disease being spread to various other countries, especially by air and sea tourists as well as economic representatives etc. So the mutating SARS coronavirus will continue, but not in Guangdong, because the secret laboratory work has been moved to another secret laboratory in a city called Wuhan, where another epidemic is being created by a new coronavirus which will spread throughout the world and cause many deaths when, in a month's time, the terribleness officially begins, which cannot be avoided. The ominous newly modified or mutated virus, the but will not yet be equal to what therefore not yet fundamentally, with the mutation of the virus that has been created so far, but what will ultimately emerge from this in the future in terms of is not yet clear. For the time being, many humans will die who have weakened primary and secondary immune systems, and that is unalterable. This while the virus will mutate several times and produce dangerous changes, these new genetic variations will, on the one hand, give rise to a new type of disease which will affect children, just as other new diseases will arise, such as vascular inflammation, etc., which will particularly affect children and young people with more pronounced primary but still underdeveloped secondary immune systems, and, on the other hand, human beings of all ages will not be spared the effects of new diseases, just as several 100,000 human beings worldwide will fall victim to the pandemic. It is and remains a fact that the actual origin of the SARS virus, as well as the new coronavirus, can be traced back to secret experiments and research with Chinese horseshoe bat flight mammals. Note Billy/Wikipedia, Lot, Rhinolophus pheromecanem, as we have undoubtedly been able to research. These flying mammals carry the coronavirus, but are themselves immune to it. According to our research, this is still being worked on secretly in China today. You circumflex secretly in laboratories, namely, without the knowledge of the Chinese government.